My name is Norma Diego. I work at Community Legal Services in East Palo Alto. We call it CLESPA for short. Um, and I'll just be going over briefly what our organization does. I'm using a PowerPoint that I shortened from a previous training that other of my colleagues have used. So it's a little long, but I'll try to just run through it really quickly. So just a disclaimer that this is just general information only. And oops, okay, there we go. This is just general information. I'm not an attorney, so please don't take this as legal advice. If you guys have specific questions, I will leave my contact information and our intake line information. Please feel free to contact us that way. So in an overview of what CLESPA does, we have 3 areas of law that we practice. Basically, economic advancement, which covers workers' rights, reentry, and consumer law. We do have some geographical limitations to that. For our reentry services, we help folks get their criminal records expunged. So we file petitions and we file motions depending on the types of cases in Santa Clara County and San Mateo County. Our housing services, the geographical limitations for that are mostly in San Mateo County and in Mountain View. And then we also have immigration services. I do not work with the immigration program, so I know very little about the immigration program. I'm so sorry. But like I said, I'll do my best to try to go over some of this stuff. So we are open during COVID, just so that everyone knows. This is our intake line. If you guys have folks that need legal services, please have them call our intake line. We are working from home, but we're doing intakes over the phone. And I feel like it's been going pretty good overall. And there is usually somebody at the office at the front desk, like receiving mail and forwarding stuff over to us in case like someone does go to the office, but technically the doors are still closed. So I'm going to go more into detail on the Economic Advancement Program and what the program is about. So we seek to empower community members to attain economic security for themselves and their families. So we remove barriers caused by criminal records. We advance workers' rights, and we advocate for consumers. And I'll just give you guys quick examples of these. Sometimes folks, when they run a background check to get a specific type of job, they get something on their background and they're no longer eligible for that job, and then that's when they come to us when there's an actual issue. So we help them expunge their criminal records in hopes that they can have better job opportunities and have more economic advancement. And sometimes we get folks who were fired and were not paid when they were fired. So we also help with that, or they were discriminated at work. Those are all things that we help with. And as far as consumer cases, folks that have been victims of fraud or did a purchase and didn't exactly get what they purchased, or a quick example that is very common that we see is car purchases. I feel like in the past years, like right around tax season, a lot of people would get like a lump sum of money and then go buy a car, put like some money down on it and make payments. But, like a month or less, the car would just stop working, and, they didn't understand the service contract. They didn't understand exactly what they signed. So there are protections for consumers under that. But I want to say the consumer law, that's where we have the most limitations. We only help folks in East Palo Alto. So I just explained a little bit of this from the last slide, but this is more on criminal records. So we file further criminal record clearance or expungements. We provide advice assistance to people who have been denied jobs or housing because of their criminal records. And then we also help people obtain criminal record exemptions and occupational license like guard card, CNA, nursing license, and real estate agents. And then I'll just go over some quick recent changes in the law. So AB 1869 eliminates many convictions related to fines and fees starting July 1st, 2021. If you guys want more information on that, I believe I have a flyer to share. I can send that to Alexis so that she can distribute it. And then also the 2021 COVID-19 supplemental sick leave is available to all employees who work for employers with more than 25 employees. That covers January 1st, 2021 to September 30th, 2021. It's up to 80 hours of sick leave for caring for yourself, caring for a family member, or vaccine-related symptoms or appointments. So we do get a lot of folks calling in for that. And then I'll just talk about housing now. So for our housing program, we strive to prevent displacement and promote community stability through direct legal services and policy advocacy. To accomplish our mission, we partner with individual clients, building-wide tenant associations, and community organizations. So these are our strategies. We help tenants stay in their homes. We support tenants as they fight discrimination and harassment. We help ensure tenants' homes are safe and healthy, and we partner with the community to protect and expand tenants' rights and build affordable housing. Oops. Oh, I think I went too far. Give me 1 second. Okay, and so also there have been recent changes to housing law, which is SB 91, which extends the statewide eviction moratorium until June 30th of 2021. And there is also rental assistance programs now available to tenants and to landlords. And I also have a flyer on that I could share with Alexis so that she can distribute it. And then lastly, our immigration program. We help immigrant communities get informed, keep their families together, and obtain work authorization, visas, permanent residence, and U.S. citizenship. And our strategies are providing legal advice and information. We help prevent deportation by representing people in immigration court, and we help people apply for visas, work permits, permanent residence, also known as green cards, and U.S. citizenship. And so we provide legal advice and information by holding consultation clinics every month, helping people understand their paperwork, and advising people of their rights and how to protect themselves from immigration and customs enforcement. And that is basically it. And I'm gonna go ahead and share now some information on how to contact us. So if you guys want more information, you guys can email info@clespa.org. I think I've also added my information to the directory. You can find my information on there. And once again, this is our intake line. So if you guys have clients that need consultations for any of these practice areas, have them call this phone number. Our main office is in East Palo Alto, but we do have several other branches. Although, as I mentioned, most of us are working from home right now. We're not actually in the office, but when we were, we had several locations. And that's it.
Thank you, Norma. I think we have a question in the chat from Omar. He said, I believe you mentioned re-entry services are for Santa Clara County and San Mateo. Are immigration services available for other counties?
So for immigration services, I think we focus in San Mateo County. I would call our intake line. I'm sorry that I can't answer that question better. But if you have a client and they live in Santa Clara County, I would have them call our intake line. If we can't assist them, they will get referrals to other orgs in their county that can assist them. We also don't assist with all immigration services. There are stuff that we don't help with. And I had a list of that, but I don't have it in front of me. So yeah, I think if you have a client, just have them call our intake line, and Maria or Jocelyn will speak to them and either refer them or have somebody else from the immigration team get in touch with them.
I also had a question myself about the COVID-19 supplemental sick leave. Do you have any more information about that, or can explain that a little bit further?
Yes, I have a flyer which I can forward.
Yeah, that'd be lovely.
But basically, right now, if you work for an employer that has, like, basically a big employer, because sometimes you work for just like an individual, so the laws are different there, right? But if you work for a larger employer and you're out due to COVID, you are eligible for paid sick leave.
Got it. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
And then there's another question. Do you have a general CLSEPA flyer or brochure that you can share?
I think we do. It might be a little outdated. We're working on a new one right now, I think, but I can certainly share that.
Okay.
Or you guys can also check out the website. The website has pretty up-to-date information on everything and all of the services that we offer. We do have a that works on that.
There's another question from Megan. She asks, are consultation services provided for anyone living in Santa Clara County, and what are the location restrictions for service? So kind of similar to the first question.
So it depends on the practice area. I want to say our housing program has probably the most limitations. So for our housing services, we only help folks in San Mateo County and Mountain View. Mountain View is the only city in Santa Clara County that we would be able to help with. We don't have a lot of capacity. So sometimes we will refer folks out to like Law Foundation or other partners in Santa Clara County for housing. For our economic advancement program, for reentry, we help in Santa Clara County, San Mateo County, and sometimes even Alameda County, just depending on the client. For workers' rights, I want to say also San Mateo County and Santa Clara County, and sometimes other counties, depending on, again, like the client's needs. We don't have really harsh restrictions right there. For consumer law, we only help folks in EPA, so only East Palo Alto. And for immigration, I think they do Santa Clara County and San Mateo County, but don't quote me on that. Sorry.
No, it's okay. Thank you. Does anyone have any more questions? I guess not. Well, thank you so much, Norma, for the presentation. It was really, really helpful.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, thank you. And go ahead and send me those, you know, the resources or flyers you want to send out, and I'll be sure to include those with the follow-up email. So thank you so much. Next up, we have the Dependency Advocacy Center's Corridor Program, and we have Sarah Cook presenting. Sarah, I see you. And you should be able to share your screen.
Yes, okay, let me get this set up. And I also have my whole team here, so we'll all introduce ourselves. Let me just get the screen set up. Hold on one second.
Yeah, no problem, take your time.
I'm not sure I have the option to share it yet. Let's see. Oh, here we go. Perfect. Okay. All right. Well, thank you so much for having us. My name is Sarah Cook, and I'm the managing attorney of the Corridor program. And we are a collaboration between Dependency Advocacy Center and Adult Probation in Santa Clara County. We got started, this is our 4th year. And I'm just going to let everyone on the team briefly introduce themselves, and then I'll describe our program in a little bit more detail.
Hi, everyone. My name is Antoinette Manuel, and I'm the social worker on the Corridor program team.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Victoria Ruiz, and I am the Corridor mentor parent that works with the mothers.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Paris Green, and I'm a mentor parent with the Corridor program, and I work with the men.
Essentially, Corridor got started because Dependency Advocacy Center is the organization in Santa Clara County that represents most parents and some minors in juvenile dependency court. And our executive director and the head of adult probation noticed this overlap and this intersection between parents who were kind of duly involved in both the criminal justice system on one end and the child welfare system on the other. And we found that too often parents are kind of trapped between these two systems with few options and resources available to them. And in particular, we believe that parents who are on formal probation are at very high risk for child welfare system involvement. And this is because of a number of different factors. One, many of the issues that lead to dependency cases, such as substance abuse or domestic violence, can also be reasons that an individual ends up on formal probation. So you kind of have these overlapping issues. You also have the same disproportionate representation of individuals who come from a low socioeconomic status in the child welfare system that you have in the criminal justice system. And you also have the same disproportionate representation along racial and ethnic lines as well. So you have these two very high risk populations. And then also parents on formal probation can be rolled up and reincarcerated at any point in time. And if they don't have a community of support, if they're not able to make appropriate arrangements for their children in the event of their incarceration, they may leave their children without an available caretaker, which is a basis for child welfare system involvement and potentially entry of that child into foster care. So we really formed to avoid situations like this, to help break this system, this cycle of dual system involvement, and empower families to stay rooted together in their communities and not in courts. Because we don't believe that courts really heal families or heal people. So that's how Corridor got started. And we consist of this unique multidisciplinary team of an attorney, a social worker, and then 2 gender-specific mentor parents. So any parent that we're working with is going to have access to all of us, and depending on whether they're a mother or a father, we'll be connected with either Victoria or with Parrish. And as an attorney-led multidisciplinary team, we are able to provide confidentiality to all of the clients that we're working with, regardless of who they are interacting with. So the attorney-client privilege that exists between myself and a client also exists between my social worker and a client, as well as the mentor parents and a client. So we're an incredibly safe space and resource for parents who are particularly struggling and fearful that they are going to become involved in the child welfare system or might already be involved in the child welfare system, because we are not mandated reporters. We are here to hear what the concerns are and to problem solve with the parent, not by reporting them, not by alerting other people, but by really working with that parent. So we have two branches of our program. We have our prevention services, and then we also have our open case services. So for our prevention services, these services are available to families where a parent is on formal probation before a Welfare and Institution Code 300 petition has been filed. So before there's actually a juvenile dependency case. And for our prevention clients, we rely on referrals from community-based organizations and providers, and directly from probation. So we are really hoping to reach out to this network and encourage you all to refer any clients to us who you think might be eligible for our services. And I'll get into a little bit more about our criteria and our screening process on the next slide. But in terms of the types of services that we can provide to our prevention clients, we provide community-based referrals. We do safety planning. We help parents come up with alternative caretaker arrangements for their children in the event of reincarceration or relapse or any other type of unavailability to care for their child. We provide assistance with recovery support and relapse prevention. Our mentor parents have lived experience in both the criminal justice system, the child welfare system, and are active in their own recovery. They can really help parents in that capacity. And we also provide limited scope legal representation to parents that we're working with on a prevention basis, as well as legal consultation regarding the child welfare system. So if there's a family and there's an active DFCS referral in place, we would be a really good resource to refer a parent to, and we can provide support through that and some advice regarding how to deal with that process. And then we also provide open case services, which means that I am actually appointed to represent a parent who is on formal probation at the initial hearing when a petition is filed and there is a court case, a juvenile dependency court case, and our whole team wraps around that individual, and we will work with that client from beginning to end. And we really try to support the reunification process and advocate for that client. And we do screenings of every parent who comes into the system to see whether they're on formal probation. And if they are, and there's no other conflict, then they get routed to my caseload and they have access to the whole corridor team. So again, regarding the prevention eligibility, it's pretty straightforward. The individual needs to be a parent or an expectant parent, so pregnant, or they have a spouse who is pregnant or expecting a child, and they need to be on formal adult probation in Santa Clara County. And then they need to be at risk of child welfare system involvement, meaning that they don't currently have an open juvenile dependency case. So a parent who is receiving informal or voluntary services from DFCS, that's not an open case. They would definitely be eligible for prevention services, and we would encourage you to refer them to us. And we can check all of this. So we can confirm probation status, and we can also confirm whether or not they have an open dependency case, because sometimes, and we have found this, sometimes it's not clear to a parent whether they're on formal or informal probation, or whether it's probation or pretrial services. And it's also not entirely clear whether they're receiving, whether they have an open dependency case or whether they're just doing something informally with the department. So as long as you get the client's consent, we can look into the rest of it. And this is our referral form. And there's the address, the email address that you can send it to below. And there's this consent at the top. And verbal consent is sufficient right now because we know that most of you are working remotely with your clients. So you can just, indicate that you went through this top portion with the client and that you have their consent so that we can confirm probation status and also see whether there's an open case or not. And we do need to run a conflict check because I do represent and have been representing for quite some time parents in the dependency system. We just need to make sure that I have not been previously connected to anyone associated with this parent before, such that there would be a conflict of interest. So once you send us the referral, we'll confirm probation status, we'll confirm that they're eligible for prevention services, and we will also confirm that there's no conflict. And then we'll get back to you and let you know whether or not we're able to extend services. And right now, the majority of the work that we're doing with clients is remote, but we do hope in the near future to start to be able to go back into the field and interacting face-to-face with many of our clients. So that's just a very brief overview of our program. And if there are any questions, I'm happy to address those. Also, if there's anything else that my team would like to add, you guys can feel free.
It looks like there's a couple questions in the chat.
Oh, okay, let me take a look.
There's one from Roxana and then one from Sophie Smith.
Okay, so Roxana's question was about a mother who lost custody of her children due to a DUI, and her case got closed about 2 years ago, and she's allowed to have visitations, but wants to reunify. Will this program be able to help? So, I have a bunch of follow-up questions already. And I would encourage you to just contact me and we can, discuss things further. But it sounds like you are referencing some sort of dependency case. However, if she has visitation, that means that the child would either be in the custody of another parent or in some sort of legal guardianship. At that point, yes, there are things that she could do to change the status quo. If the case was dismissed with family court custody orders, meaning that the child was in the custody of the other parent who may have reunified, then the remedy would be in family court, where the family court orders could be changed and custody could be restored through family court. After 1 year after a dependency case dismisses with family court custody orders, it becomes a purely family court matter that's heard by the family court judges. For the first year after the dismissal, the cases go back to the dependency judge for any type of modification to the custody orders, but the dependency judge sits as a family court judge, applying family court standards, not dependency standards. If the child's in a legal guardianship, then legal guardianships can be dissolved and terminated. It's based on the best interest of the child. So there are definitely some legal avenues open to that parent, especially if she could show a change in circumstance. So I would encourage you to refer her, and we can see if there's any way that we could assist her further. The second question from Sophie is, if we're worried that there'll be CPS involvement due to some red flags in our assessment, yes, you can definitely refer to us. And I would encourage you to do so because we're not mandated reporters. So, and I would really encourage you to communicate that to a parent because there's so much fear that's involved with the child welfare system. You know, losing your child, having your child removed from your care is one of the worst traumas that a child and a parent can experience. And it goes both ways. And our program's really designed to help prevent that. And we feel that the confidentiality that we have as an attorney-led team is actually really an asset because it enables us to problem solve with that parent, to meet them where they're at, to come alongside them in a way that so many organizations, despite their best intentions, are unable to because they are mandated reporters. And there are certain points in time where your obligations as a mandated reporter really do kind of create a conflict of interest between you and that client that you're trying to help. And we're able to never violate that and to really kind of stand by their side throughout the entire process. And sometimes we find too that parents feel comfortable being honest with us, and that honesty actually leads us to solving a problem as opposed to just avoiding it. So yeah, I would definitely encourage you to refer the client to us and try as best you can to explain the confidentiality that we're able to afford them. And also, we're happy to do kind of an informational conversation with that client as well if they feel some reluctance and explain that we're not mandated reporters either, and that we can keep our communication confidential.
Awesome. Does anyone else have any more questions?
En este caso, específicamente, el tipo que es el vigilamiento o el acoso sexual en diferentes legislaciones.
Pirelli, did you have a question?
No, sorry, I logged out. I was just logging back in. Sorry about that.
Oh, no problem, no problem. I wasn't sure if you had a question for Sarah. If no one else has questions right now, as you all can see, Sarah's put her information up there, or you can put something in the chat box if you have a question during the rest of this meeting. And yeah, thank you so much, Sarah. This is really informational. Definitely a program that I enjoyed learning more about, and will also be reaching out to you for a specific situation with my client to see if it's appropriate to refer them to you or not. So thank you so much. Sarah did send me the flyers that I will be sending out to the group with the rest of the follow-up materials. So you will be getting everything that she shared with me. Sarah, did you want me to share the slides as well?
Yeah, that would be wonderful. It has all of our contact information in it as well. And you'll just, on the referral form, which I believe you'll be distributing, there's a certain email address, but you can feel free to just contact me directly, either by email or by phone. If you have questions as to whether or not to even refer, I'm happy to explain things further. And my direct email and telephone number is the best way to get a hold of me to answer those questions as well.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you. And next up, we have, we have the African American Community Service Agency, and we have Stephanie presenting on behalf of that. Let's see. Oh, Sarah, can you stop sharing your screen? Perfect. Thank you. Stephanie,
good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Can you guys hear me? Okay. Give me 1 second.
Of course. You should be able to share your screen now. Kelsey made you co-host. Perfect.
Okay, my name is Stephanie, and I am the Homelessness Prevention Case Manager at the African American Community Service Agency. We go by AACSA for short. During COVID, we are open to the public. We just are not allowing clients to come into the building. We are a small team of about 15 people, so half of us are working from home, and we kind of alternate our schedules that way. And for clients, we assist clients all throughout Santa Clara County. There's no restrictions or like eligibility requirements to be a part of our agency. So just a little bit about AACSA. It is the mission of the African American Community Service Agency to preserve the dignity and culture of a diverse African American community and to provide services that promote the full participation of Santa Clara County and the general society. Our 6 pillars are education, social services, health and wellness, economic development, racial and social justice, and then we have a family resource center, which is part of First Five of California. So first, I'm just going to start highlighting some of the programs that we have for each of these pillars. For education, we have our ALA, our AACSA Leadership Academy, and some of the highlights that I wanted to point out with this program. It's a collaboration of high school and college students, and they're able to they have the opportunity to do many different things. One was have a fireside chat with Angela Davis. I'm not sure if everyone knows, but she's very significant to the African American community. And recently they even had a one-on-one with Mayor London Breed of San Francisco. In addition, there is mentoring, STEAM on Saturdays, and then we also have Senior Citizens Connected, which is trying to get senior citizens a little bit more tech savvy. For social services, we have the homelessness prevention system, so we are a part of that network as well. We provide information and resources to our clients. We have job and career resources as well. We have one of my colleagues, she focuses on reentry support. And then our biggest event is the AACSA Cares. So now I'm going to go into a little bit more depth about this program. Our Cares event takes place the first and third Friday of every month from 12 to 3. And during this event, we offer a variety of food, fresh produce, milk, eggs, bread, canned goods, PPE, so face masks, hand sanitizer, gloves, toiletries, and hygiene products. And in order to receive these items, we prefer appointments just so we can get a better understanding or know how many people will be serving for the day. But we do welcome and encourage walk-ups as well. And this is a great opportunity for volunteers to get involved with us as well. So if you or anyone you know is looking for volunteer hours, especially with COVID, I know it's hard actually getting in-person opportunities. So this is one of the events where you'd still be able to satisfy the hours and be able to kind of get that community like seeing the clients and being able to like feel like you're actually making a difference in your community. Health and wellness. So our 3 programs that we're actually doing right now is the Wellness and Coffee with Dr. Glenna, Benefit Your Health, and then Yoga for the Culture. So if you or anyone you know would like to participate in these events, I can definitely send out these flyers as well. And they have the bit.lys for the registrations. And this is open for anyone. We also have like cooking demonstrations sometimes. So we had cooking demonstrations on how college students could like afford healthier meals and be able to cook more efficiency, especially while living in the dorms and things of that nature. Peace of Mind Art Night. So we highlight some community artists and we'll have them come in and we'll kind of just watch them paint, or they'll lead a painting session themselves. We also have the Grow Room Project. So outside of our agency, we created like a huge sphere in partnership with Santa Clara, University of Santa Clara. And this weekend we're actually painting it. So if you would like to come volunteer, that's also a good way to get some hours. And one of our new things that we recently have access to is being able to sign clients up for the COVID vaccine. So if you know anyone that would like the COVID vaccine that meets the county eligibility criteria, then we can go ahead and sign them up as well. Economic development. So Operation Hope and financial literacy kind of go hand in hand. Some of the programs were creating generational wealth, Financial Friday. We have home ownership support resources. We took a big part in the voter registration and the census for 2020. And then right now we're also highlighting a lot of the Dearden Station and like Google, what's going on with that and the development that will be taking place. Racial and social justice. So some of the events we've had for this pillar, Black Policy Matters, Civic Engagement, Black African Ancestry Town Hall, AACSA, Santa Clara County 2021, Black Welcome, and Black Immigrants Matter. Last year, AACSA took a big part in making Juneteenth a paid holiday in our county. And then right now we also have a survey. So if you're able to fill out this survey, it gives us a lot of feedback for the programming that we do. And our last pillar, and I feel like it's the biggest one here, is the First Five Family Resource Center. So some of the programs we have under the FRC is the baby items giveaway. So this includes clothes, strollers, car seats, diapers, formula, anything that would kind of like be wraparound needs for children ages 0 to 5. And then we have the ages and stages questionnaire for parents just to see like if their kids are in the right developmental stages. Virtual Storytime and Family Fun Friday. We actually have this event this week, and it'll be an informational session for parents on the COVID vaccine, as well as an activity for the children. Book of the Month. This is also another virtual event that takes place every month, and this year we decided to highlight Black authors who do children's books. Recently we had the Cubby Book Workshop where a family donated about 25 cubbies and the children were able to paint and decorate it, and they also donated books, so the children were able to keep about 3 books. Some other workshops, one I really want to highlight is a 24/7 dad parenting workshop, and you'll see the second picture here. This has been like a bigger event, and like the county has been taking more notice to it. They actually tried to sit in on the event, but due to like confidentiality, we couldn't have them. Dads get really involved. They love sharing their stories. They really enjoy coming. They really enjoy coming to this workshop. And then at the end of the workshop, they have like a little graduation too. So like that sense of accomplishment is something they always look forward to. 2 of our signature events are our Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Luncheon, which takes place every year on MLK Day in January. And then Juneteenth in the Park Festival, which will take place on June 19th this year, which is always Father's Day weekend. So this will be an event that we'll have downtown. I think we're waiting to see if it's going to be something virtual or back in person again. Some of our annual events. So we have our kids' Christmas party and toy giveaway, our Safe Halloween event in partnership with Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Inc. Delta Rho chapter. This year, our block party with Antioch Baptist Church is actually going to be virtual. And then we have our senior citizen prom. This actually started as a luncheon about 3 or 4 years ago, and then we converted it to an in-person like prom. My grandma actually participated in it this year, and it was really nice to see her like get dressed up and like be excited to like see people on Zoom. So some of the ways you can contact us, here's our website, sjaacsa.org. Our email is info@sjaacsa.org. I can also drop my email in the chat box as well. Our mainstream phone number is 408-292-3157. Our address is 304 North 6th Street. It's on the corner of 6th and Julian, right across from Cardenas. If you would like to volunteer, here's the volunteer link as well. We're very active on social media, so here is our links for Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, and YouTube. And that is the end of my presentation. Is there any questions?
Any questions? I don't think so. Thank you so much for the presentation. If anyone has any further questions, feel free to, oh, wait, we got one from Megan. Are most services just for African American communities or for everyone in the county?
That's a great question. While we do try to preserve the dignity and culture of African Americans, our services are open to everyone in the public. So actually, most of our clients are going to be from the Latinx community. We also have Vietnamese and Chinese clients as well. It's very diverse, especially given the area that we live in. So one of the things that people are discouraged before approaching us is they think that we only serve African Americans when that's not the case. We don't turn down anyone. We are here to serve the whole community in Santa Clara. So anyone in Santa Clara is eligible for our programs.
Next question from Jessica. How can people make an appointment for the food giveaway on Fridays?
So then I will also put my number and email in the chat once we're done with the questions. And if you just call the main phone number, everyone that answers the phone is trained in how to sign up clients, and they will walk you through how to sign up the clients. It's basic. They'll just ask name, phone number, contact information, items that they're looking to receive during Friday's event, and then they'll just select a time that they're about, a time that they think they're available to come between 12 and 3.
Another question from Sophie. What specific tools are used for homeless prevention, if you know?
So we're a part of the Homelessness Prevention Network with Sacred Heart. So we use the HMIS, we use the PRVI SPDAT, currently transitioning to the new HCAT. So yes, we're coordinated under Destination Home.
Awesome. Anyone have any more questions? Okay, I think that's it. Thank you so much, Stephanie, for the presentation. That was really, really informative.
Yeah, and thank you to all of our presentations today. We heard about a lot of amazing resources and programs and services, and we so appreciate you all. So thank you for presenting to us, and thank you for the work that you do. Next up, we have our open communication section, and we have like a little more than 15 minutes for this section. This is a great time for any resource sharing. You can use it as an updates forum to share any updates from your agency, or if you have COVID vaccine or testing questions, this might be a good place to network about that. There's a lot of resources out there that people know about. Also, any COVID program updates, any networking or problem solving that you want to do. So feel free to, the floor is open if someone wants to share something or has a question or anything like that.
I would like to say something. My name is Areli. I'm from Sacred Heart Community Services, and I'm the public benefit coordinator. And if you guys have any clients who are looking to apply for food stamps, CalFresh, please send them my way. I'll be more than happy to help them apply for that. Also, we have a program called Digital Inclusion. So if the goal of the program is to help low-income families get a low rate in internet access, they would need to participate in 3 classes, computer literacy classes. So give me 1 second. 3 computer literacy classes, and depending on their situation, they might qualify for a laptop. So if you have any families who are in need of that, please also send them my way, and I'll be more than happy to help them with that. I will put my information in the chat one more time. Thank you.
Thank you, Areli. If you don't mind too, could you just put a quick blurb that summarizes what you just said in the chat as well? Because then when I send out the follow-up email, I'll include that in there so that people know what to come to you for.
Will do.
Thank you.
No problem. Thank you.
It looks like Jessica had a question. Is that service only for families? I think she's referring to Areli, what you shared. I'm not sure.
It's not just for families. It's for anybody that needs internet access that we're able to help you with. So you don't have to have a family.
I'm curious if many people have been having difficulties getting their clients and or staff vaccinated. I know VHHP and the county has really been trying to mobilize outreach teams and teams that go to shelter sites and whatnot, but I'm just curious to hear if anyone's really been having any difficulties with getting their folks vaccinated.
I would just say that the education behind it took a little long to come out. So now that it's coming out with the facts and feedback and the whole thing about they can see that people who got it done can't pass the COVID around. So those types of tidbits give a lot of positive feelings about it all versus the unknown. So it's gotten a little bit better. People are getting it on their own now.
Yeah, I agree. It took a while to get the information. We've had some clients who are who haven't been wanting, who have had some misconceptions about the vaccine, and because of that, didn't want to get it. So hopefully, hopefully with these new materials, we can help educate people and get them vaccinated. I see. Let's see, Roxana, the spin. I think you're asking about the spin meetings. The spin meetings are held every second Wednesday of the month from 9:30 to 11 in the morning. G Chen, who said you can't copy the content in the chat box. Yes, I'm copying the information from the chat box. I'm not copying everyone's contact information. You can look at the spin directory for that, but I'm copying the important information as far as, you know, when people are sharing like, oh, here's this grant opportunity, here you can go here for vaccines, that type stuff.
Oh, and just a reminder, again, there is a vaccination clinic for those that are unhoused, RV residents, shelter residents, and unstably housed this Friday at the San Jose Rotunda. And I'm actually going to put the link right here in the chat box to sign up your clients. I don't think they need any form of identification, so that shouldn't be a problem. And there's also buses transporting people. So that's pretty cool.
Hey, Kelsey, I know that there were some flyers put out about that. I saw those within our organization, but I don't think they were circulated on Spin. I didn't see them sent out. So do you mind just blasting them, like today on Spin? I don't want to wait to put them in the follow-up email and have it be too late.
I sent them on Spin yesterday, all the
Oh, you
flyers.
did?
Yeah. Did anyone get them? Can anyone confirm that they got them?
Let me check.
Because I just want to make sure. I sent it to Spin email.
I didn't get it yesterday.
Oh, nobody did? Huh, weird. Okay, then I will send that out again.
Awesome. Thank you.
No worries. Oh.
Also, looks like Roxana asked in the chat if any programs, any person affiliated with any programs here offer car seats. If so, maybe throw it in the chat box or unmute yourself. Or if you know another program that might be able to offer them.
No car seats.
Guess not.
Okay. All right. If there's no more questions or resource sharing, I think we can end early.
Yeah. Why don't we keep it open, Kelsey, until 11 in case any, a smaller group wants to chat or whatever.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah. So we'll just chill here till 11, but if you have nothing more to add or don't want to stay on, feel free to take off. Thank you all so much for being here with us this morning. Really love hosting these meetings. And yeah, we look forward to seeing you at next month's meeting, and be looking out for my follow-up email with all the resources.
Thank you for sharing all your resources as well. It was great to hear all of that.
Thank you. I'm going to send out that email right now. I'm not sure why it didn't send.
Yeah, that's really strange.
I sent it to Spin.
Was it too big of a file that it didn't send?
See, I'm here right now. Let me know if you got it. Stay on.
Thank you, Joseph, if you're still on.
Okay, spin at santaclaracountycoc.org. All right?
Yep.
Yeah, okay. I'm going to send it out right now. Make sure the links are all good. Okay.
Also, Roxana, if you're still on, it looks like Victoria put in the chat that Santa Clara County Public Health has a free car seat program.
Ooh.
Just a heads up.
Did I send it?
I haven't gotten it yet.
Oh, it's in my outbox. Just taking a time to load. I'm also making another Instagram post about it because the one yesterday was kind of ugly. It was not nice looking. I don't know. Gotta make it look good. Download. Oh, Love Twice. Yeah, Love Twice is really, really good for anything children.
Yeah, I just put that. I'm putting that in my notes to send out with the follow-up email.
Stop recording.